So let's discuss now the questions of the open session. We had given you 4 questions, that is 2 theory questions and 2 case study questions. Ideally, you should have completed those in the 45 minutes. So approximately 7 minutes for the theory question, so that is 14 minutes, and 2 case studies, 15 minutes for the each case study. Anyways, if your mains examination is a bit far, relatively, you can take your time, but gradually you match the time. Okay. So yes, let's come to the discussion. Okay, first question. Okay. See, first question about the contemporary issue. Hope it's visible, or should I zoom it a bit more? Okay, now it must be visible. Okay. So yes, first question was on quick commerce, a bit a contemporary issue. Lot of things have been written about it, and it has been in news for mostly not so good reasons. So yes, we all know how we analyze the 2024 paper. Many contemporary issues UPSC picks and makes a question. So most of the 90% of the theory questions in 2024 CSE ethics were contemporary issues. So this is one such contemporary issue. It may come, may not come in the examination. Yes, quick commerce. First step, like we had discussed earlier, that first step should be breaking the question. Breaking the question means identifying the various parts of the question. Okay, now let's identify the various parts of the question. So question says quick commerce delivery system reflects utilitarianism but often comes at the cost of core human values. Examine the statement in context of ethical responsibilities towards labor, sustainability and consumer behavior. Okay, fine. Yes, first it talks about quick commerce delivery system. Reflects what? Reflects utilitarianism. Okay, this is one aspect, but often comes at the cost of core human values. Okay, this is second aspect. There is this, but often comes at the cost of core human values. Now we have to examine this statement with respect to 3 variables: A, ethical responsibility towards labor; B, sustainability; C, consumer behavior. At least identify all the variables. You may not have good rich content, but if you identify the variables and even write few lines about it in the examination, you will get respectable marks. Okay. So first step, like always, should be breaking the question. Okay. So first is quick commerce reflects utilitarianism. So write in the introduction how quick commerce reflects utilitarianism. Intro, quick commerce reflects utilitarianism. What is utilitarian philosophy? Maximizing pleasure, greatest good for greatest number of people. So you write in the introduction, quick commerce reflects utilitarianism as it seeks to maximize the pleasure of consumers by instant delivery, instant gratification, greatest good for greatest number of people. Who is benefiting? Consumer is benefiting, instant delivery. Corporates or the quick commerce agencies are benefiting by way of profit and generating employment for the people. So greatest good for greatest number of people. So yes, that is the positive connotation which the initial statement asks, but it later says, but comes at the cost of human values. Now, below the introduction, you write about the second statement, which can be a connector between the introduction and main body. So, this second will be a connector. So, there is a smoothness in your answer, not abruptness. So, but this utilitarian philosophy comes at the cost of human values, and it does not respect dignity of labor, compassion. That is, it does not it compromises on community building, social capital, especially from the perspective of riders, the delivery boys. Okay. So examine this. Now you come to this, the next part. Examine with respect to this A. So write A in the main body. Ethical responsibility towards labor. Now the corporates or the employing agency and the consumers have a responsibility towards labor, and that responsibility is having a dignified workplace, dignified interaction with the people, dignified interaction with the employer, fair wages, social security, safe working environment. This gets compromised in the quick commerce delivery system. Hardly there is any interaction between the employer and the delivery agent. A human is converted into a near animal. How? They have a timer. Delivery comes on their mobile, then within this mobile rings. Delivery message comes. The timer starts. 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 5 minutes. You have to pick up that delivery. No interaction between the go down workers and the delivery guy. Picks up the delivery. Timer starts to run. Then goes on his her bike. There too she needs to run. Then come to the doorstep of the consumer. There too no interaction. Take this and I am done for the day. Then next again another message comes on the phone. Then run again. There is no human interaction. Very minimal interaction. How many of the consumers say thank you? Will you have some water? Even if they want to have water, but the timer has started for the next delivery. No time to drink water also. You read the interviews or watch on YouTube of several these delivery partners, how they are being treated as mere animals. What about the ethical responsibility towards them? So this is the ethical responsibility towards labor. Now come to the next variable, sustainability. So here you can also add this, the delivery partners are been treated as a means to an end rather than an end in itself. So it violates the Kantian philosophy of deontology. It may promote utilitarianism but not deontology. Okay, even the Gandhiji also emphasized on means equal to ends. Now come to the next variable, sustainability. Now analyze from sustainability perspective. Sustainability, yes, environmental sustainability. Short trips, more frequent trips. One, you forgot, suppose you are going to the exam, you forgot writing pad, you order writing pad, then the writing pad comes. Oh, you forgot that you did not take the printout of your exam ticket, you order printout on one of those, then he comes again. Then your roommate remembers that he forgot the pens, black point pen or the mains examination, whatever pen that person used. So you again press the button and again you order pen. So how is that sustainable? more frequent trips, more energy consumption. Even if some may use electric bikes, but degradation happens even of the electric bikes. The battery capacity goes down, and whether the electricity used is been manufactured by solar energy or thermal energy, so the carbon footprint further increases. Before you may have if before this era you may have planned everything that me and my roommate will go together to the shop, make a list every down, list all the items I need to purchase, and from that shop at once you will get everything. But now convenience, so sustainably, environmental sustainability. But you should not just write environmental sustainability, and sustainability of economic sustainability as well of this entire model. See, none of the quick commerce companies are as of now profitable. So they have been funded by the investor, angel investor, etc. You must have read in economics. So once the funding stops, this entire model will come crashing down. And what will happen to those employment? Though so many people are dependent for their livelihood, unemployment will increase once this quick commerce model comes crashing down. So that sustainability it questions. Okay, so you can also connect with one of the Gandhi's deadly sin: business without morality, business without ethics, or commerce without morality. Okay, now come to C, third variable, consumer behavior. Now write something about consumer behavior. See, many times we all know there is a minimal interaction between the delivery person and the consumer. One person will come one day, other person will come other day. There is no community building between them. See, before of all these online models, there were offline stores. You must have gone to buy your daily needs to these stores. You would have interacted with these people. They come to know about you. You come to know about them. Even they had some specific delivery. If they are providing house delivery, you will come interact. You get to know. You will ask them how's everything with you. Is everything okay at your house? If for some days that person may have been on holiday, you will ask what happened. You didn't come for many days. So this is what is community building, and this is what is social capital. That social capital is building is missing in this model. Today one delivery person, tomorrow third delivery person, next day fourth. Where is the social cohesion and social capital? Even UPSC once asked question on social capital in 2023. This social capital is missing in this model. And also about the safety of drivers. There are many instances when the riders were assaulted by consumers. Many riders lost their life while delivering to consumers. There were also some instances where they take the product and don't pay. Yes, there can be issues from other sides also, that some drivers may have assaulted consumers, but in most of the cases the riders have a very difficult life interacting with unknown people, and we don't know that safety of drivers is a big issue. So on these points you have to write on these three variables. Now how will you end it? Now end it that yes, quick commerce system promotes utilitarianism. There is some positive aspects as well. It generates employment, etc. Whatever the positive aspects you write. But at the same time, there should also be a dignified treatment for labor. And there should be social welfare and social security, minimum wages, so that there is business with ethics and commerce with the morality, and not commit the deadly sin as outlined by Gandhiji. or you connect with Kant in the conclusion as well. That means should be equal to ends. That labor, that is the quick commerce rider, should not be used as a means to achieve some ends. And there should be presence of human values. Without human values, no society and no business can survive. Okay. So on these lines you have to write. So try to connect with ethics. Question is in ethics, not in GS3. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. So one contemporary question we gave, and this is more of a traditional question. Okay, this is some more of a traditional question. So the question is, ethics deals with human character and conduct. For a civil servant, a righteous conduct is a prerequisite for bringing about any change in the society. But ultimately, the society is laced with materialism, authoritarianism, and acceptance of corruption. So, in this regard, how civil servants in India have failed in delivering ethical governance? Very big question and lot of variables to understand. So, yes, big question, but if you break the question properly and identify the variables, there won't be a much issue. So first step should be, like always, breaking the question. Breaking the question, that is identifying the various parts of the question and identifying the variables so that you will come to know which lines you should write and you do not miss out any aspects of the question. Okay, very important process. So first break, ethics deals with human character and conduct. Okay, it talks about ethics. For a civil servant, righteous conduct is prerequisite to bring out change in the society. So significance of ethics to a civil servant, second part. But the society is ultimately laced with some issues. Some societal issues are there. In this regard to this statement, you have to analyze how civil servants in India have fared in delivering ethical governance. So in this regard, you have to analyze the performance of civil servant with respect to delivering ethical governance. So these are all the parts of the question. Ethics talks about ethics. Second, significance of ethics for a civil servant. And third, societal problems and how they have fared. So see how they are fared in delivering ethical governance. So here there will be two parts. You have to analyze good and bad, good, bad, and the ugly. Good and bad. Okay, good and bad. How they are fared, they have worked good or they have worked bad. And then you have to do. In the end, you have to give some perspective, a view, a conclusion. So first part is ethics. So introduction. So introduction, define ethics. So ethics is a moral philosophy which deals with human character and conduct. It scrutinizes human actions, whether those actions meet the established establish standards so as to know whether these actions are ethical or not. So in this way you define ethics. So second part, it says righteous conduct is prerequisite for bringing change in a society. So second aspect you write, that is the connector. So connector you write in one or two lines. Why righteous conduct is required for bringing change? Bringing change is a very tedious process. It needs lot of consultation with various stakeholders. And for that to happen, first you should have some inertia to change. So you talk about this because civil servants enjoy lot of discretion and power. To bring any social change, it has lot of discretion, and if this discretion and power is misused, misuse will result in corruption, authoritarianism, materialism, CMC. What is CMC? Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh? No, commodification, materialism and corruption, or consumerism, CMC. Consumerism, materialism, commodification equal to corruption. So this society is laced with this authoritarian acceptance of corruption. Because of that we need righteous conduct. But जिसमें change लाना है वही accept करती है. Society is more accepted towards corruption. So write this. Then third part, how society is more acceptable. In our society, people celebrate eye for an eye. Untoward incident happens, there is a demand, encounter, not trusting the criminal justice system. In our society, like Kaushik Basu says, there is a Sanskritization of corruption. People who are corrupt are respected in our society. People who are honest are looked down in our society. Even ARC talks about this. Corrupt people are given prime posting. Honest people are given punishment posting. Example, an IAS officer retired recently, Ashok Khemka. In this way, society is accepted towards materialism, corruption and sex. See, many examples are there to talk. Pooja Khedkar case, acceptance of society, but social media is also filled with righteous people. How Pooja Khedkar case came to light. One person videographed her car having red beacon, a luxury car, put on social media. How this lifestyle is lived by a government officer whose salary is just under a lakh or so. Then things started to roll. Okay, anyways, so write this. Then you have to analyze how they are fed. So write the bad part first. The integrity of many civil service institutions like those manned by civil servants such as CBI, ED have been questioned. Similarly, during emergency, yes, emergency 50 years happened, there was a rise of committed bureaucracy. The bureaucracy, it was a saying that time, the bureaucracy was asked to bend, but they started to crawl. So this way, then write some individual cases, write Pooja Khedkar case or the recent case of Odisha, right? That IAS officer Chakma was caught taking bribe, or recent the Jagannath Yatra stampede, where the government found that there was a demonstration of duty by two people, superintendent of police and district collector, and the government transferred those officials. People even said that the police presence was not there at all. During the Jagannath Yatra, people were visiting at night and special treatment was given to the VIPs. See, this demonstration of duty. So that's why I need ethics. Okay. So now bad part, now write some good part as well. Civil servants have also performed well. The success of Indian democracy since 1947 or 19 after India became republic is credit must be given to the civil servants. They ensured a smooth transition in democracy when new government was formed. Okay, see many countries got independent in 1940s, but only India, I suppose, is remained democratic. Other countries have seen military coups, etc., chaos. You see Bangladesh, you see Pakistan, even African countries. So, Indian democracy was free from any dictatorship, any military coup. Credit must be given to civil services for that. Now, write some, yes, then you can also write the reduction in poverty, improvement in the health indicators, the work of the civil servants during COVID-19, devotion to duty, courage, fortitude during COVID-19. Yes, it was due to the ethical governance of civil servants. Then write some individual cases as well, like we discussed Dares Ahmed as a work as a collector of Pelambalur and Ravinder Kumar as a collector of Rampur. Both of them won the PM Civil Services Award. So this on the good part you write, and in the conclusion, now tell me, can ethical governance be possible only by civil servants? For ethical governance, there are other two stakeholders as well. Ethical governance, people, politics, and administration. People, politics, and administration. So there too should be ethical governance. That is, criminalization of politics too should stop. People should also strongly disagree or strongly condemn any illegal act, any corrupt practices. Then there will be ethical governance and Ram Rajya as visualized by Gandhiji. So this way you conclude. Yes, on these lines you should write. Okay. Now let's move to the case studies. Yes, a bit huge big case study like we discussed earlier. CSE 2022, there was a case study which was of 600 words. So you should be ready for all eventualities. So here, yes, big case study, but interesting. I hope you guys found it interesting. Now let's dwell into each of the aspects. So, basically, let's see for case study. Don't compromise when a case study is as big as this. Don't compromise on the time for reading. You write less, write briefly, write smart. In this question also, there is scope of writing smart. I will tell you how. You just keep your eyes and ears open. See. It has 5 questions, A, B, C, D. Now, while writing case studies, see many types of introduction you can write, but don't write unnecessary things. Many people have a habit of writing ethical dilemmas, even if it is not asked. Of course, if it is asked, you should write. And also writing stakeholders, even if it is not asked, what's the point? You won't get extra marks. You'll rather wasting your time and space. Already this question has 5 sub questions, 5. So how much space you write? So rather, a smart strategy of writing introduction would be just write in crux what the case study says. See, this must be around 500-600 words. Just write in 3-4 lines the introduction about this case study. That is writing the summary. Even the examiner will get it. Examiner will feel satisfied that at least she has identified or understood the case study properly. Okay, so in short, you are giving the entire case study. See, basically, what this case study talks about. See, what this case study talks about. See, there is a CEO of Delicious Cola company, and there is one more company, Tasty Cola. So, which cola you like? Delicious Cola or Tasty Cola? You don't like cola. Basically, there is a CEO of Delicious Cola company and there is a Tasty Cola other company. So, Cricket World Cup is happening, and so Delicious Cola has launched a product called as Tasty Cola has launched a product, Tasty Cola Blue, to match the Indian cricket team jersey. The cold drinks color is blue, India's cricket team jersey is blue, and that blue color will match. And they did a market research, the rival company, and found that this will be a very big hit, and this is the #1 company in India, and after this massive hit, this will become the #1 company. So at a response, they too started their own product, Delicious Cola Rush Blue. So same blue color, but the problem is that the CEO finds out that it has a pesticides in the soft drinks, and that pesticides, it's due to the contaminated water which has come from the local government. And the founders say, you go ahead with the launch of this cold drink, even if as they say that it's not our mistake, the local government has supplied us the contaminated water, so it's not our fault, it's not our responsibility. And they say we will manage our product with with the authorities, so no one will come to know, but you come to know that it does not have an immediate effect, but after 10-15 years the effect will start to show. Effect is that it will lead to cancer. Cancer will happen and people will die. So this is the long-term effect. Now you are the CEO, then you have to launch it. Otherwise, if you so as a CEO, you have two options, whether to launch, go ahead with the launch, or abruptly stop the launch. If you go ahead, we all discuss how that cancer, etc. And if you don't go ahead with the launch, then unemployment. The case study says that the company has employed 1 lakh people, 15% people will lose job, that is 15,000 people will lose jobs. And also the company won't remain as #1. This is what basically the case study says. Okay, so just write everything crux. This is can be your introduction, but write in brief. Now let's deal one by one with each of the questions. First, it says, what are the ethical dilemmas? First is, what are the ethical dilemmas involved in the case? Question A. Now, hope you know what do you mean by ethical dilemmas? Ethical dilemmas, yes, you must have read in the theory part. Ethical dilemma is a situation when there are two or more conflicting ethical values. Two or more ethical values are at loggerheads, they are fighting with each other. And you have to make a decision. Decision is a must. Situation is challenging. And that decision will result in compromising either one of the values. That is the ethical dilemma. Hope it's clear. Now, what are the ethical dilemmas in this case? First is, let's look from the CEO's perspective, from his personal perspective. Integrity, his integrity. Integrity versus what? Integrity versus loyalty to founders. First is he has to maintain, she has to maintain integrity and be loyal to the founders. Second, personal growth, professional growth. The founders are saying you will get promotion, etc. Professional growth versus what? Professional growth versus crisis of conscience. Yes, though she will get promotion, get more hefty package, but the conscience will keep on pricking if the person has at all. That because of means some people in the near future will die. Crisis of conscience, extreme level of tension. 10-15 years down the line, she will age, may enter into old age, then extreme level of tension will come. Okay, next, what can be the ethical dilemma? Third, so let's look at the organization level, that is this company level. So profits of company, profit to company versus one side you make profit to company, utilitarian approach, maximize profit, maximize pleasure, but there is some social responsibility as well. So profit maximization, profit to the company versus social responsibility. So write at least 4 or 3 or 4 will also sufficient, but there is scope for one more ethical dilemma. You have to just find out. So fourth, connect with corporate governance. Corporate governance versus company's dominance. Corporate governance and company's dominance. A company should be run with the mandate of within the scope of corporate governance. Corporate governance has two aspects: following rules and values. So rules too are not followed. The founders are saying we'll manage the authorities, and values of business with ethics, values of benefiting all, not only just shareholders but all the stakeholders. People are stakeholders drinking the cold drinks. In 10-15 years down the line, they will get cancer. So these can be the ethical dilemmas involved. are involved in this case study. So now let's move to the next. See, second question says, second, who are the stakeholders of this case? B. Now see how you can write smart. B says, who are the stakeholders of the case? But look at C also. What are the stakes, and rank the stakes according to their importance. A similar lines question is there. So why don't you club B and C together? This is smart way of writing and saving time. So make a table, who are the stakeholders, and rank their stakes according to their importance. We'll make it in the next page. There is no space. So you can make a table here itself for B and C. So this way you can write B and C. So make a table. Here you write rank, stakeholder, and stakes. This way you can do. Rank means you rank wise you write. First, the most important stakeholder will be 1, 2, 3 and respective. Who is the most important stakeholder? Who is the most important stakeholder in this case? Rank 1. The CEO is the most important stakeholder. Okay. Who can be number 2? I will come to it. Why CEO is the most important stakeholder. Next is the founders of the company, who are pressurizing him or her of delicious cola. Then who are the next important stakeholder? The food safety authority, whom the founders are saying will manage them. Then hope you at least identify all the stakeholders. Then local government, who has supplied the water. And the last stakeholder in chronological importance are the people. See, why CEO is the most important stakeholder? Because she will decide whether the product will reach the market and the consumers or not. His or her decision will be vital with respect to the product and the health of the consumers as well. So CEO, the most important stakeholder. So stakes you write, running the company profitable and generating employment, generating profits, being loyal to the founder, being loyal to the company's values. Those are his or her stakes. Now, founders of Delicious Cola, what are their stakes? Yes, maximizing profit for the company, utilitarianism. Greatest good for greatest number of people. Cost, benefit should be more than cost. Now next is food safety authority. What are their stakes? In actuality, they should ensure that all the products reaching the market, the consumers, are safe to consume. So right, safety of products. Local government, in this case, supplying clean water. That are the stakes. And people, what are the people's stakes? People's stakes are quality of product, safe product to consume, cost effective product, value for money products, that are their sticks. Okay. Another, you can also write those employees who are working at the Delicious Cola company, who may get unemployed if the product doesn't get through. So this way you can combine B and C together. See, so little space and everything is come. This is the smart way of writing. The examiner will also get impressed. Such a good presentation. In a crux, everything is written. Already the question has 5. This case study has 5 questions. Okay. So let's move to the next question. The case study asks, now what are the options available to you? Options available and the course of action. See, what generally people do a mistake, what options are available, they keep on explaining the options as well. It is saying what options are available. It's not saying evaluate the options or write the merits, demerits of the options. If you write a lot of things here, what are you going to write here? Course of action. Course of action and options are two different questions. Course of action will be actually your decision, and you justify that decision, justify the steps you take to that decision. That is course of action. So options can be write the obvious simple option at the end, obvious negative option at the end, like I will launch the product. Don't write it at the start. Yes, that is an option, but everyone is obvious. That is an option for everyone. And you are writing in ethics, there should be written at the end all this. So write that at third point. Okay. First option can be delay the production. You don't allow that to go through the product. Okay. So that is one option. Second, think a bit innovative. Problem is with the water. So see if there is a possibility of arranging water from a different source or digging a bore well if possible. But that will take some time, but you have to launch instantly. Bore well, water arrangement, delay, or third, launch. So this are the options available to you. Now what course of action you should adopt? See, this requires a bit of innovation and understanding and reading the case study properly, because the case study already gives you a hint that as to for the course of action. Okay, the hint lies here. See, fruit juices remain as a hallmark of purity and reassure you that delicious cola will be managed discreetly. This is the hint here. Fruit juices and World Cup. See, who majorly watches the World Cup and consumes this drink, soft drinks or anything, are the youths most likely. Yeah, majority of the chunk. Yes, everyone has it or have it. But see, there the case study says that the syrup is ready and we have fruit juices which are hallmark of quality. So what should be a course of action? See, already the syrup is there, blue color. Why don't we mix that syrup in the fruit juices and sell it as fruit juice, delicious cola fruit juice blue? There's no problem with the syrup and no problem with the juices. And also fruit juices are healthier than soft drinks. And why can't we market it as a healthier option for the Cricket World Cup? Many people get attracted to healthier options, and if it is even a price at a bit of premium as compared to soft drinks, people will gravitate towards fruit juices and company's profit will explode and it will become a hit. So this should be a course of action. See, this calls for the importance of reading case study very properly. You have to grab this hint and give this option. This is one part, okay, you deal with the product. Second part lies in the corruption in the local government and the food safety authority. For that, you write, you will approach the appropriate channels through the ombudsman or the appropriate authority, and about this, the pesticide laden supply of water by the local government, and how the food, there is a corruption in the food processing, food regulatory body, okay, food safety authority. So that way you approach, and this way you write, this will be the solution for this case study. In the conclusion, you write, though corporates work on a profit motive, but there should not be business without ethics as outlined by Gandhiji, and for a corporate or for a private body to survive, there should be corporate governance. That is, there should be that all these stakeholders should be equally valued and taken care of, not just shareholders. Okay, so this way you can deal with this case study. Yes, see, it is very important to read the case studies properly. In UPSC also, lot of in the actual past year papers or the coming papers, lot of hints are already there in the case study. If you rush through the case study, do not read it properly, you will miss out on this. And see, the key lies in writing to the point, writing to the brief, and dealing with the hint, identifying the hints given in the case study, especially for bigger case studies like this. Okay, then let's move to the next case study. Case study 2, yes, a bit relatively shorter. Case study 2, a bit shorter, a bit interesting as well. See, the case study is basically as such that Paharguda is a village. And see, it is a fictitious name. We created Paharguda village in one of the eastern states in India, and the Paharguda village there is a tribal belt and has a dense forest cover that village, and tribals live there, and there is one mountain there known as Chamakta Pahad. See, that is also a fictitious name, okay. So Chamakta Pahad is there, Chamakta Pahad, and the tribals have been worshipping that Chamakta Pahad for decades, for years, for centuries, as they believe that the first human was born on the Chamakta Pahad, and it is called Chamakta Pahad as on a particular day when all these celestial bodies align in a particular direction. This Pahad, that is the Chamakta Pahad, glows like a mountain, and on that day the tribals believe that the first human on this world was born, and they celebrate that day as a Manav Janma Divas. And on the Manav Janma Divas, what the tribals do, they climb this Pahad to worship the Pahad. They sacrifice animals, typically goats, chickens, etc., and they cook the food there on the Pahad and eat the food as a prasad. Now the problem lies that the issue at this case is not the problem. There is another religion, religious sect known as Shulu Shanti. That is also a fictitious religion name. Shulu Shanti, a religious sect is there that religion believes in non-violence and compassion towards all living creatures. So they have been propagating that religious values throughout the state and throughout the country. And so the state legislature has passed a law that no culling of animals or animal sacrifice around the temples of Shulu Shanti. And Chamakta Pahad has a temple of Shulu Shanti sect. So they have passed the law, and Manav Janma Divas is just few days and weeks away, and the district administration has issued an order to implement that law passed by the state legislature to ban the culling of animals or animal sacrifice on the Chamakta Pahad. And Manav Janma Divas is just few days around the corner, and this has created tension among the tribals, and this is what the case study deals with. And tribals say that no matter what, we will celebrate that Manav Janma Divas on that Pahad, Chamakta Pahad, on that day, and we will kill the animals and eat it as a prasad and cook it and eat it. So this is briefly what is case study. So case study, you write in the introduction that the above case study outlines how the law is in conflict with the cultural identity of the tribals, and you give some brief outline about it. So basically, introduction can be law versus ethics. Law versus ethics. So this is what the case study talks about. I'll write it properly. The case study is about law versus ethics. So this can be your introduction, writing on these lines. So law versus ethics is the introduction, and then you deal with each of the questions. Is the law passed by the state legislature assembly sustainable, and justify your stand. So tell whether the law passed by the state assembly is sustainable or no. See, this is a question in ethics, not in GS2. So be mindful of writing all this. If you write GS2 specific, you may not get, you may get some marks, but not that marks you need to clear the mains examination with that substantial leverage. Okay, so yes, you first write one aspect. Yes, it is the law, the connect with the contrarian thinkers of ethics. That is, you can say the assembly has a social contract, and by its by way of social contract, it has a morality to pass laws. Social contract, hope you know social contract theories, Thomas Hobbes, Locke. Okay, so according to them, then the people have come under a social contract with the state, and state will rule on the behalf of them. So on the basis of that, state has the morality or legitimacy to pass those laws. So it is right. Then you also can relate with the constitution. The Constitution of India outlines that there is a DPSP, that is have compassion towards all living creatures, and reduce do not like non-violence. Okay, you connect with non-violence. So this is the legitimacy, but it goes against the tribal culture and way of life. There is also tribal culture and way of life and plurality. In a sense, to promote that Shulu Shanti's principles, tribals are used as a means to achieve an end. So again, it goes against the Kantian ethics. Then you can connect with the theory of justice of John Rawls. So what about justice? Justice to tribals. Rawls' theory of justice. What about justice? Rawls said there should be justice based on two principles, equality and differential. There is a violation of equality principle as well. What about the rights of the tribals? And differential principle as well. That is, differential principle of John Rawls says the well-off people has a responsibility to the less well-off people or the poor people. So it violates the principle of justice, theory of justice of John Rawls. So in this way, the law passed by the assembly is not sustainable. This way you will justify your stand as well. Okay. So now let's come to the B part. What options are available to you as a superintendent of police of the said district under which Paharguda village comes. Now you are SP. Now tell what are options available. Here too, the question doesn't ask you to evaluate the options. It says what are the options available. So write options available. Yes, those negative, obvious negative options at the end. Okay, that you will do, you will arrest, etc. Okay, that at the end. First option can be yes, try for a dialogue discussion with the tribals, or first right that as a civil servant you have not only it's your responsibility to implement laws, but at the same time there is civil services neutrality as well. Neutrality in the other sense that I should be adhere to civil services values as well of compassion, exemplary behavior, neutrality, working for the poor, avoiding exploitation. That values also you have. So option is there, having a dialogue with the tribals, persuading them, please, if possible, till we amend the law, please do not celebrate. It might invite some punishment. That can be one option. Second option, you say, you try to find the middle ground. Don't sacrifice animals at the pahad, at the Chamakta pahad. Sacrifice at the foothills and carry the prasad there, have food there. That can be one option. Or you can say sacrifice some coconuts, etc. there at Chamakta pahad. That can be an option. Third option can be connect with the district administration, tell them about this issue, so the district administration can connect with the state government. Or if you then next option can be you connect with your seniors for their advice, but that is more of an incompetence. You should connect with your seniors when it is very extreme. Okay, that can be one option. Or consult your MLA, tell them for need for revision of this law and the urgency, or write to the CMO, or through district administration connect with the chief minister's office, connect with the or write to the state tribal welfare departments. So these options, various options you have, and of course the infamous negative option that let law take its own course. If there is a violation, I will take this. Is yes, option is there. You should write also, but that should not be a course of action. What will be a course of action? So course of action. See, course of action. First, hope you guys have written what can be the course of action. Anyways, see, first, always a soft approach. Soft approach, okay? Even ARC2 says there is a need for soft skills in civil servants. Lot of research have also underground. For a successful policy implementation, soft skills should plays a very vital role. During COVID-19 also, long time back, you must have seen when some states adopted a hard approach for lockdown. Some states or cities adopted a soft approach, that is persuasion, negotiation, making a moral appeal. Those states who adopted or cities adopted soft approach were more successful in enforcing the lockdown, unfortunately. Okay, anyways, what is the soft approach then here? Can be peace committee with all the stakeholders, that is the Shulu Shanti sect people, then the tribals, head of the tribals, the representative of the tribals, you talk with them, have tried to find a middle ground, like we discussed in the one of the options that so and so foothills you sacrifice, but you also, if they are sacrificing other foothills, take no objection, let them sacrifice, then you take them prasad at the Chamaktapad and have prasad there. And further, as a social cohesion, the Shulu Shanti people also provide them water, sweets, etc. to celebrate the Manav Janma Divas, the birth of the fourth human. That can be one option. So negotiation, etc. try to integrate the differences. Then this can be the soft approach. Also at the same time, appraise the tribals. Yes, we feel that the law is not proper. There can be some issues with the law. We will take up with the state tribal agency. Show them the draft. We have already filed the grievances with this concerned department for amendments in the law, so that it can be taking them into the confidence. This can be one. That is amendments to the law. Okay, so this can be one of the course of action of this regarding soft approach. Okay, so but if this doesn't work, middle ground is not found. If no middle ground, then okay, you will allow, yes, but if no middle ground, let them celebrate with proper police protection, so that there is no differences between the community, but also warn them, once you celebrate there will be legal action. And yes, let them celebrate, and after a day or two you take some minor legal action like detaining them for few hours, or imposing some fines, and but at the same time take them into confidence that, see, this is, yes, we accept that there is some issues with the law, and some action we need to take, so take some minor action, and then you write a report to your concerned senior and concerned state government assembly, state government machinery, that please amend this law. This is very this they may create some problems in the future, or do some amendments, or some have talked with the head of the Shulu Shanti sect. So that way, if this middle ground is not reached, so some minor penalties. Then detention for few hours, after few days, not immediately, after 2 or 3 days. So in a way, this should be your course of action. So in a way, it will try to ensure not just implementation of law, and make provide governance, good governance as well, that you have been very transparent with the tribals, but at the same time promote ethical governance in true sense. Okay, so not only the administration is rational, but also empathetic, that is value driven. Values matter in administration if you want to bring sustainable change. Okay, hope this discussion was helpful for you, and okay then, thank you very much.